Hey, what's up, daywalkers and fellow travelers of the night? What you're about to watch is a clip that I took out of our big interview with Mike Chen because I kind of spoil a thing of the ending, and we were really careful not to spoil too many major details in our interview. And I want you guys to go experience the book for yourself. But for those who have read it, there is something we kind of hint at here and a big moment that meant a lot to us as a D.I.D system. This meant a lot to us, seeing this point in the book because we kind of relate in a way. And so, but it does give away a little bit of the ending. So this is just a clip from that interview that I took out because I didn't want to spoil it in the main interview. So if you've read the book, great. Enjoy this next clip because we kind of talk about the ending and this big moment with Jake Lockley. There's a moment in this book, I'm not gonna lie, that made me cry my eyes out. And I just want you to know as a writer, like how important this concept is, because to you, you're writing a book, and you're working really hard at writing this book, and you want these characters to have meaning and purpose. And when we pass away one day, we will not be our original self. And there's a moment like that in this book. And where they even say, like, I always thought I'd go back to being Mark or something, like in the end. And it's so awesome what you wrote there. And I just want you to know that even though it's just a character moment to you and a darn good one, it was something that we really, really loved, not in like in a dark way, but just like really connected to. And when we read, we were emotionally moved by it, because it was very sweet, the way you handled it. So we just want to say thank you. And one of my last questions is, do you think you'll ever want to or get a chance to write a DID system again one day?
Well, first, thank you for telling me that. Like things like that, when as authors, like we kind of train ourselves, a lot of us, to like stay away from reviews.
Mhm.
Usually, our publicity team will send us the good ones so we can feel good about ourselves for a moment. But we are all very, very sensitive creatures, and so when especially going to a con and doing a signing where you have people who are like, they are your audience, they are coming up to you to say thank you for a reason. It's like the most amazing thing. And so for something like that, especially when it goes beyond like I enjoyed the story, but like to know that it's like it has created some weight for you in your life, like I really appreciate that, and I'm really glad that I could do that for you. um, so your question about would I do this again? I would write another Moon Knight story in a heartbeat if they would let me. Um, I feel like with things that I am not an expert on or personally involved with, like I would not try to create my own DID character for
Okay.
fear of like doing it wrong.
Hmm.
With Moon Knight, they're kind of like established parameters, and I knew I could trust like the consultant that the Marvel team had brought in. But it's like the same reason why, like I feel like my other book, my original book, Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about vampires, but it's also about being a Chinese child of immigrants at a very specific point in time, and how like the culture that is passed down, and what if you reject that culture. I'm writing that because I can, because it's very close to my own experience, and if someone who did not actually live through that or has no connection to that sort of personal history tried to write it, like I would definitely kind of like side eye them. And so like that's kind of my approach to something like that. Like if it's an illness, like my wife has chronic illness, and like we talk about a lot about disability representation in media. And so like in some cases, like with Anakin Skywalker, I got to write, the book takes place, the Star Wars Brotherhood book takes place about 2 weeks after he gets his arm cut off.
Right.
And there's a big plot line or subplot about how he is adjusting to this, because in Star Wars they're just like, yeah, we grafted a robot arm on and you're fine.
Yeah, it's
um,
nothing. Yeah.
but my wife and I talked about like adapting to your new chronic condition, whether it's synthetic or physical. Um, and so something like that where it's like it exists within this sort of like given IP, and I can bring it some sensitive representation. Like I
Mhm.
am all for that. I would not try doing that like for an original character because it's like it's just the space for that should belong to someone who has that sort of like learned experience, just like what I did like with Vampire Weekend.
Yeah, well, don't worry, I got you covered. We're working on a book right now, so
Okay,
uh,
cool.
but I would love to see you write Moon Knight again, 100%. Like, if I got to pay someone at Marvel to do it, I'll do it.
I would love to do it.
um,
Hire me to
so,
write the second season of the show. I would
oh
love
my,
to do that.
please, oh my God, what a dream come true that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Marvel, please, someone.